Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, social media, sports, everything really. We talk about it all depending on the guest. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. You'll recognize my guest from a show that recently just dropped on Netflix called Teenage Bounty Hunters. We're with Charity Cervantes. Charity, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you, and that was really good. You said all that so fast and so clearly. I'm very impressed.
Well, you know, we've been doing Popternative for since 2015, and I've done over 500 interviews. So
that's so amazing.
So there's a lot of practice, and you hit it. But you know what? It's practicing certain things that work and everything. So well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. And you know,
thank you.
We talked about it before. I mean, these Netflix shows, you know, they hit quick. They get dropped, and people watch them right away. So what's that been like for you so far?
I know I told you, but I've been crying for like 24 hours nonstop in like a very happy, overwhelmed, grateful way. Just so many emotions, like watching the show all come out, watching all of the amazing reviews come out, watching my family and friends be so excited at the same time. It's been a whirlwind, and I'm still processing. It came out yesterday, so if I start to sob, it's not you, it's the excitement.
And it's already at number 9.
Number 9.
It's crazy. It's wild, and I'm so happy for you and the cast and the crew, because it really is awesome to see that you're able to kind of see the kind of results so quick, because I feel like Netflix has done a very good job of a lot of these TV shows for that kind of younger demographic. And it just hits so quick.
Yeah, for sure. I've had people reach out from all over the world already. I'm like, wow. They're like, we love the show. We already finished it. I'm like, oh my God. Okay.
So what was that Thursday night like? Was that like calm before the storm? Like, what was that like? You talking to the cast and crew, other cast members? What was that like?
Oh my gosh. We were all so excited. Half of us had seen it already. I had not yet. I hadn't had the pleasure. And I'm kind of glad, because I got to experience it with everybody else. And I'm still I mean, I've read all the scripts and I was there, but watching it live on Netflix, or you know what I mean, streaming on Netflix.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been amazing. But Thursday, holy wow. Yeah. It was a really interesting feeling, because just like any art, before you put it in front of your audience and your viewers, you don't know how people are going to accept it or receive it. And we put our heart and soul and our love, and we love it, and we think it's amazing. And it's just so good to hear that everybody else is starting to think that as well.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into Teenage Bounty Hunters. Before that, specifically for you, for Charity Cervantes, like, when did the kind of acting and storytelling, you like how I pronounce it?
I like it so much.
When did that kind of start for you? When did you kind of decide that acting and storytelling was something you wanted to do, Charity?
Oh my gosh. Well, so when I was little, I had to do pastor's kid here. I willingly did Christmas plays and pageants, and I'm sure a lot of us have been in that. So it started with that. And then I'm sure a lot of us as well, when we were young, maybe not, maybe I'm special, but I'm pretty sure I've seen memes about it on the internet. I did a lot of plays and shows with my cousins. So we're like 5 and 6, extremely talented. And we'd make our aunts and uncles and my mom and dad go sit over there, and we'd put on a show that we like rehearsed for 4 hours nonstop. But I know, just like brilliant geniuses. And then I would say, when I decided this is what I'm doing and no one can tell me different, would be 8th grade, middle school. That was the first year I was in public school, and I went to go see the play at the high school. And I just remember being so moved. It was To Kill a Mockingbird, and so touched. And I was just thinking, if art can make you feel this way and stories can make you learn and understand a new perspective that maybe you haven't been exposed to before, then that's what I want to do.
That's great.
And my parents were very actually supportive, which I'm very grateful for.
No, that's awesome. No, it's great to hear that. I find it like you hear that a lot because like I always, people come on the show, they want to talk about, their projects, but I always think it's kind of refreshing to get kind of like a backstory of kind of like when it kind of all started, right?
Yeah.
And from like you're not the first one that said like the plays, like the young plays, like that happens, like it's pretty common.
Yeah, something about live theater, it just gets to you, and it's amazing.
Well,
and
theater is kind of like where you learn your craft too, right? Like a lot of
Right.
people that are on some of the biggest shows on the planet right now kind of started in the theater, and they go back to the theater. They do plays all the time.
Right, for sure. I started in the theater. I did all of the plays in high school. I did it in college, and then I realized I was not going to be a Broadway star. So I started moving and taking lessons in film acting and moving more in that direction. You hear me sing in Bounty Hunters, and I would say it's not so bad, but I'm definitely not the lead of Hamilton. So
Well, that's a perfect segue. So can you for my viewers, I mean, I'm sure a lot of my viewers
hi, viewers.
have already watched Teenage Bounty Hunters, or have at least started it because
God.
it came out yesterday. You know what
And
I
if you
mean?
haven't, you can do it right now. Just shut this down and go watch it right now.
So can you talk about, I mean, it goes without saying, I mean, the two lead characters are, like full-time students, part-time bounty hunters, but specifically can you talk a little bit about your character, kind of your storyline a little bit, without giving away
Yes.
spoilers, but give us a little bit of an intro of your character.
Okay, her name is Hannah B, and she is my soulmate. She is in the Willingham Academy school storyline. So far. And oh my gosh, there's no spoilers. I'm not giving away spoilers. I'm just saying maybe in season 2 they want to give her a fun storyline. You never know. But she's in the academy and she comes from a very well-to-do Atlanta family. And I would say she just wants to make everybody happy. I would say that's her biggest goal in life. I do think that she has some smarts and strength that is overlooked. And I think that's something really special about her. But yeah, she's hilarious. I love her so much.
If there are shows, because I mean, Netflix uses it as kind of a marketing tool, and they should, right? Where they say, from the creators of Orange is the New Black and Glow,
Right.
like they do that, right? Are there some shows though that like you think it's a very unique show, you know what I mean? There's not much out there like this show.
I would say it's the first of its kind.
But like in terms of, because I'm always interested in like the crossovers of different fandoms, you know what I mean?
Right.
I definitely see like the Outer Banks fans watching this. I see the Riverdale fans watching this. I see the people even that like watch Dead to Me that watch this. There's that. Are there shows that come to mind when you kind of think of it a little bit? Because like Eric, your co-star,
Sex Education.
yeah, Sex Education. Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
I think the fans of Sex Education would love Teenage Bounty Hunters.
For sure, because like your co-star Eric,
I love him.
so he was also on Lock and Key, and
Yes.
all of those, which is an amazing show, and all of those, like there was so many different comparisons, right? People were saying Stranger Things, some people were saying, Harry Potter, or some people were saying Haunting on Hill House. There's all those comparisons. It's kind of hard to compare what this show is gonna be like, but I feel like Netflix does a good job kind of saying that it's kind of the same people that made Orange is the New Black and Glow. There's a little bit of like curiosity there, but Sex Education, the school aspect of it, the high school aspect of it is definitely there. What for you specifically as a storyteller? I mean, what were your kind of favorite shows that you kind of like that you watch? Because that might be different to like in terms of your work, right? Like there's like the stuff you like to
Right.
watch, and then there's your work stuff too, right?
Right.
What are you into? Like, what's your kind of go-to projects that you watch?
I love comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not probably not the answer you were looking for,
No,
but
it's great. Absolutely.
I really love comedy. One of my favorite shows, and I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like you know everything. Fargo, the TV show, I believe season 4 is about to come out,
Yeah.
and that is some of the most brilliant acting and writing and directing
Chris
and
Rock.
cinematography. Oh my
He's
god.
gonna be in the new. That sold me right away. Like Chris Rock. Do you notice that sometimes when they announce certain people on projects?
And you just get chills like I have right now.
Like for example, like Stargirl on the DC Universe in CW, when they announced that Luke Wilson was gonna be on that, I was just like, oh my god.
I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. For sure. Were you into like so like comedy, like you're into like The Office and Friends, like those are the shows. We
For
actually
sure.
I interviewed Melora Hardin, who played Jan on my show.
God. Oh
which
my god, I
was-
love her.
Yes, and she's also on the
I
bold.
would-
She's on the bold type as well.
Yes.
Yes, so
love
I
that.
I interviewed her, and it seems it's cool because you're from Atlanta. Shout out to a few people right now: Melissa Saint Amand, Kevin L. Johnson, Ozark. Great
Yes,
people.
Hey, Atlanta.
Great people. Yeah, Atlanta. So are you from Atlanta originally?
I'm not. I'm from Arizona originally. I've lived here 7 years now. So it's been a journey.
But Atlanta is rocking, right? Like there's a lot
Yeah.
going on there in the industry.
Yeah, I came here and I was like, wait, I don't think I can go back. I think I have to stay here. So I
Well, a lot of
have.
cool projects filmed there.
Yeah.
What are you hoping audience takes from Teenage Bounty Hunters? It's an escape. It's fun. But is there anything kind of? Can you get a bit? Is there anything more that you could say about it? Like what you're hoping they get from it? We talked
Yeah.
about it. You love the script.
Yeah. Yeah. Kathleen and all of the writers on the show are just, I would say, geniuses that have such a smart way of writing the script that you're laughing and then you think about it later and you're like, wow, actually that had some really deep meaning behind it and I didn't think of it that way. They just write the script in such an amazing way. But I think one of the main things that I would hope audience get from it is the freedom to be yourself.
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of pressure in society and especially private religious schools. And I think that Sterling just really brings that out in the show. And I was like sobbing without spoilers in certain parts that really connected to me. I'm like gonna start crying now just talking about it. I told you I was gonna start to cry, but I think that's something that a lot of, not even teenagers, like I think a lot of audience members who watch this show will really connect to.
Lady Bird. Did you see that? So is that kind of where you're going at a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I love that movie. I think it's one of the best.
In a sense, yeah. It's
Yeah.
very different. It's very different.
Absolutely. No, that's great. And what is we talked about it, Calm Before the Storm. I mean, it's been out for a day, but like, have you noticed kind of like you said, you're getting messages all over the world. I mean, but like, are you kind of prepared for it to get bigger and bigger? Because it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, like I'm so ready to be a star. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I would be very surprised. I love Hannah B. I hope everybody loves her as well. And I am so excited to share her. But I did prep myself. I went through my social media and maybe some more personal pictures with family that I would like to keep like private and private life. I kind of took off and stuff like that. But
I was singing more for it's probably like you probably refresh every like 2 seconds and
oh
it's
my
just
gosh.
yeah.
Yes. I mean, Steven has told me to get off my phone a couple times. And I'm like, you're right. But also it's work. It's work.
It's work. It's part of it. But that's the thing. Have you thought about, and I find it very interesting right now because we're not going to go into specific ages, you know what I mean? But a lot of people on the show, are, quote unquote, young, up and coming, actors and storytellers, right? That are, playing kids in high school and and so on. And what I find interesting is you're on this show, so you're Charity Cervantes, you're on Teenage Bounty Hunters, yeah?
Doesn't get old.
You're on Teenage Bounty Hunters, you are on the show, you are on a show on Netflix, which is a powerhouse platform. And there are people that look up to you and be like, wow, like Hannah B. Like, I would love to be in Charity's footsteps one day and play a character like Hannah B. in one of these shows. This is so cool. But at the same time, you're also young enough that you're kind of also looking up to people in the industry and you're learning every day. So you're kind of like a middleman, a middle person.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. Yeah.
It's interesting dynamic. You can relate it to a lot of athletes as well, right? Like the junior athletes, it's become such a big deal, a lot of these college sports, right? And people look up to them, but they're still like college athletes, right?
I know. I'm always going to be looking up to someone, always. I feel like even Meryl Streep has people that she looks up to.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an amazing, I think part of our industry is that we're people, right? And so we're always growing and changing. And with growth and change, like, comes new characters and new opportunities, and there's more to learn with that. So, yeah, for sure.
No, absolutely. Well, Charity, thank you so much for coming on Popternative.
Thank you. PDB.
I really am hoping that more people can watch Teenage Bounty Hunters because it is on Netflix right now, and they can watch it right now, and it's a fun, cool ride.
Yes, I promise if you watch it, you're going to fall in love and you're going to tell everyone else to watch it.
Wow, that's
so
high.
I dare you.
That's high praise. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
I have Instagram, and you can follow me at Charity Faith.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And seriously, congrats to you and the cast and crew. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. And it's really nice to meet you and talk to you. It's been really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Teenage Bounty Hunters Season 1 is now available on Netflix. So be sure to check that out. And until next time, this is Charity Cervantes and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.